All right. Oh, man, just like all that phlegm. Okay. Hi. You don't know me, and I don't know you. But if you know me in real life and you came to my Twitch page like a month ago or something, you would see that I started to play Overwatch and everything, right? And I have too many creative things going on in my head, and I like abandon ship and whatnot. But that doesn't matter. I'm an Overwatch player. I've been playing Overwatch since no, not October, since December 2017, and I stopped in August 2019. Why did I stop? I sold my Xbox. I wanted to make a physical impact on the world as opposed to making a digital impact on the world. So I sold my Xbox in 2019 to make a physical impact on the world, and I did really good because I wanted to be done with gaming because it just sucked up so much of my time and I wasn't able to do the things I really wanted to do in my mind. Um, for the entirety of the time I played Overwatch, I mean, if you can't tell, I was a console player. Overwatch 1 at least, I was a console player, and I really hung out a lot in high plat to all of Diamond, really. Because Diamond was just that volatile. Plat can be that volatile, but Diamond was really volatile. So I spent a lot of my time in like when I eventually got like good at the game, um, I was hanging around, I want to say like 3300 to like barely not being able to hit masters, but I did hit masters and I peaked at 3727 or 3741, one or the other. I'm not 100% sure. Um, I was a main tank player in Overwatch. Started as a DPS player because I loved Genji, and then I kept on losing games, or not losing games, but I swapped to Soldier and Reaper, and I was like, man, if we just had someone standing there with a shield, if we had a Reinhardt, we would be okay. Well, I had to go and be that Reinhardt, thus, which is why I became a tank player. Um, so I was a, I'm sorry, I'm reading off of a rough script I have because I never record videos like this at all. I really don't, but I feel like I need to record this one. Um, so that is like my background in Overwatch. I think when I left Overwatch in 2019, I think I left after Sigma release. So Sigma released. I think I played him for like 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know if he was in comp yet or not, and then I sold my Xbox and I stopped playing Overwatch. And I kept an eye on Overwatch because Overwatch 2 would interest me, but Overwatch 2 would only interest me if they would care about the game, right? Care about the game as in like give us more patches, right? Because the whole drought from whatever hero they release all the way until Echo and then Sigma, it was like fuck, man, the game, it wasn't dead, but it was like it was getting there, right? And that's because they were doing Overwatch 2 development. Anyway, fast forward, Overwatch 2 is releasing. I'm hyped for it. I loved Overwatch 1. Overwatch 1 is a top 5 game of all time for me. Um, there's no doubt. It is just that amazing of a game. I, you know, the flaws in it, sure, there were flaws, but the highs of Overwatch 1 outweighed the flaws. Then Overwatch 2 came out. I was excited to play it. I get on Overwatch 2 and I play it. And I was like, oh, the gameplay loop is there. It's like 70 to 80% of the way there, but it's not all the way there, but it's still here enough for me to want to play as a tank player. And Junker Queen, I was like, oh, really cool. Like an actual human woman tank. That would be really fun to play as. And she, does everything based off damage. That's really cool. I want to go and play Junker Queen. And they destroyed her out of the gate, which was a telltale sign of what was to come for tank players, right? And so within the first 3 to 4 days of the release of Overwatch 2, I didn't take the game seriously anymore. The whole time I played Overwatch 1, I took the game seriously. But when I played Overwatch 2, after the first 4 days, I stopped taking the game seriously. And I'm like, you know what? This isn't a game that I really need to, like, focus when I play, right? So what I would do is I worked a real stressful job at the time. I would look at this monitor right here, and then I played Overwatch right here at this monitor at 30% volume. And then on this monitor, I had it up to full volume, watching whatever stream or YouTube video. Asmongold, Squid Ink, Flats, Emongg, CarQ. I would watch that a lot of the time because it was just really nice to chill and relax, play a video game. It was mainly AFK support, right? I would just AFK support, AFK tank, and I would just play, and I would, do the bare minimum really, but I would still like win a good bit of matches, right? Just by AFK playing the game, I was like gold 1 or something like that. AFK playing the game, gold 1. So I felt like I didn't really need to try it all. Anyways, I'm rambling and I'm not really focused. Overwatch, when I played it, was one of the most important games of all time. And then when I came back, I was like, this game's not that important because, I don't know, there's something about it. Something's off. Something's off. I don't know what's off, but something's off, especially with the tank rule. Yeah. Apparently tank was busted. I played tank. It didn't feel too busted. It felt proper, right? Proper is what it felt. Tanks were apparently juiced up going into Overwatch 2, and I really feel like they needed to, because that's the only way they could have done the job of 2 tanks. And then, all this shit happened with balance and whatnot. But in Overwatch 1, tank felt real good. Not only because I had someone there, but because I felt like I could do my job well, right? And that probably does go back to 6v6, having someone there, right? So like in Overwatch 1, if I charge in as Reinhardt on, why can't I think of it right now? King's Row. If I charge in as Reinhardt on King's Row, and I can't go peel back for my Ana, well, I know my Zarya is going to be able to bubble her, right? I know something will happen, and I know my DPS will, because I had someone there to help me, and me and that tank knew what it was like to play tank, off tank and main tank, and we knew how it was to, have to care for the whole team and still destroy the enemy. Yeah. So having that other person there was really nice, but you don't need that other person there, right? Because season 1 proved that if you make tank good, you don't need 6 people. You really don't. Just make tank good. That's really it. But in Overwatch 2, ever since season 2 or season 3, it was either the season after they buffed Rein and made him good and then killed him 3 to 4 weeks later, or it was when they buffed Doom and made him ridiculously good and then killed him mid-season patch. Why wait till mid-season patch for Doom but kill Rein ASAP? I don't understand. But maybe I'm getting the timelines wrong. Maybe they're the same. But after they killed either Rein or Doom, either season 2 or season 3, tank has been in the terrible state. Tanks, we have just been blowing up. There has not really been a good tank. Whenever they release a hero, you'll hear them say, you'll hear Aaron and everyone else. Maybe you won't hear them, but you'll see it in the blog posts. We want to be on the safe side of strong, right? They learned that from Lifeweaver. Lifeweaver was weak as hell when they released, and they're like, we got to change this. Safe side of strong, right? Everyone they release is now safe side of strong. What is tank, though? Tank is safe side of weak. Is it really the safe side, though? I don't know, and I don't have an answer, but I don't think it's safe to keep all your tanks weak, right? Malga was a menace when he came out, right? Malga was a menace. But in order to play Malga, you need Ana and Kiriko. Yeah? You need that just to play Malga. It's just the rules. It's just how it is. You need Ana Kiriko to play Malga. But then if their team goes something even more to like totally, invalidate Malga, then sure. But what I'm trying to say is Malga was strong on release, but look at Malga now. What the fuck does he do? He just stands there and shoots and pumps damage into you, right? Malga is sort of like a Bastion, right? Imagine a Bastion shooting Zarya bubbles to try to kill her every single time he sees her, but she always goes back around the corner and then heals up and then comes out. That's pretty much Malga. He's like, oh, I'm mounting the tank. Oh, they went around the corner, and guess what? If I turn that corner, my health goes from 725 to 0, even with cardiac overdrive. Bit of an exaggeration, obviously, but tanks have felt bad. I don't know how many tanks there are at this point. Maybe there's like 10 or 12, not 100% sure. I think that's actually 12 is too much. I know there's not 12. There's 8 or 10 tanks. Yeah. All tanks are not good. They are serviceable, right? They're serviceable for whatever needs to be done, but there's always on the enemy team at least 2 counters for every tank. So tank, ever since season 2 or season 3, has been in a bad state in Overwatch. And it has been getting worse and worse and worse. We're blowing up. They don't give a fuck about tanks. They want to buff everyone else. They want to make Kiriko, Suzu do more things. Oh, now they got to take away Suzu and do less things. They want to give everyone else the fun stuff besides us. They want to give everyone else the ability to make plays besides us. Tank players are left in the dust. And I know, apparently, I'm not on Reddit and like Twitter Overwatch, right? But apparently when a tank player complains, everyone's like, shut the fuck up. Chill out. You're fine. It's really not fine, though. And I'll tell you why it's not fine. Right now, I just did my placements last night as tank. Plat 5. I'm Plat 5 as tank. So I feel like in Overwatch 1, being able to be as high as Masters, I know what it takes to play the game right. I know how to rank up. I know exactly, what to do, right? I have a very good sense of how to play Overwatch. But I actually don't know where I was going with that. I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying with that. This is what I was saying. Because I was Masters in Overwatch 1, and I know what it takes to get to... Not tanks. I know what it takes to get to top 500. Not top 500 at least, but I know what it takes to get to GM5 for sure. And I know there's apparently a big disparity between GM5 and GM1 in top 500, right? Totally different. But what I want to say is because I was Masters in Overwatch 1 and I am Plat, and I think I peaked Diamond 5 or Diamond 3 or something in Overwatch 2. While not caring, I want to say I have not been caring about the game. But I didn't care about the game when I hit Diamond. And I'm totally going off script. But I didn't care about the game when I hit Diamond. I hit Diamond 5 and I was like, whoa, holy shit. When I don't watch a YouTube video while I'm AFK playing the game, I actually do good. Holy shit. Mute the Twitch stream for 2 matches. All of a sudden, I won both matches in a row. Whoa, holy shit. It's like when I focus and pay attention, I win. Crazy, I know. But I feel like I can represent the majority of players when I say that Overwatch 2 is further and further and further going downhill. And I know I'm going to bite my words because I know they're going to go back to 6v6 and they're going to change everything back to how it was before, and it's going to be fantastic. But I want to say I don't think we should be falling for that. I don't think we should be falling for the 6v6 will be better. But you know what happened when it was 6v6? You fuckers left us. You left us. I mean, I left Overwatch, yeah. But apparently, me leaving Overwatch, I left at the perfect time. Because as soon as I left Overwatch after Sigma release, boom, then you got double shield, then you got all these dog shit metas, ass metas. Who wants to play that? I'd rather play Grab Dragons than play fucking double shield. That shit is awful. Grab Dragons was so fun. I loved it so much. Dive? Fantastic. But I left at the perfect time in Overwatch 1 because apparently the game was just, like abandonware virtually for the last 3 years. But what I will say is apparently the best balance patch of all time, though, was October 2020 when they were balancing and updating the game if I remember Siegel's video correctly, they were updating the game every 2 weeks. Yeah. Every 2 weeks, they would hit it with a patch because they wanted to see how it would do, and apparently it did really well. Yeah. And then they went back on that. They're like, why do we do this? All these balance patches were a mistake. We didn't mean to, like actually make the game fun. I'm sorry, guys. We're going to have to revert everything back to normal, right? I guess you could look at that in a way as, like fix the bug where Ash's ultimate charge would build while Bob was still on the field, right? But apparently it was a bug that she wasn't getting ult charge when Bob was on the field. Go figure. I feel like I'm rambling and I'm not really focused at all. It's just things I'm remembering. But what I want to say is the state of tank in Overwatch 2 is terrible, and it has kept on getting worse and worse and worse. And last night I reached my breaking point when I loaded into a match and I was like, ooh, who do I want to play? Do I want to play Queen or do I want to play Sigma? I decided to play Sigma. I was like, oh, okay, not so bad. And was it that? I think it was that. I went Queen, or I went Sigma, and then I lost, or something. I actually don't remember the exact match it was, but I went a tank, and I got counter-picked to my counter like that, right? If I remember correctly, it was Junkertown, and I picked ball. I don't know why I picked ball, but I picked ball. We just finished defending. I picked ball, or we just finished attacking, or fuck, I don't remember. My brain is everywhere right now, but I played ball on Junkertown. I didn't even really do much of anything. I was just like coming through and slamming, putting shields up, and running away. That's all I was doing. That is all I was doing. I was just slamming, getting shields on, and leaving. That's all I was really doing. And then all of a sudden, both their DPS die and their support dies. And what happens after all I'm doing is slamming and I really got 0 limbs that whole first point? Now we see a Zenyatta. Now we see a Sombra. Now we see a Bastion. Now we see a Roadhog. Because the tank did die. Tank was Diva. Swapped to Roadhog. You got all these counters and it's just... It feels like the devs are putting tools in the game specifically to make tank experience worse. It feels like they just want tanks to suffer, right? How I think of it is like they have the tank roll strapped up in a basement to a torture rack, right? Where, legs are chained apart, arms are chained apart, right? And they are going to that tank roll and they're skinning it. Yeah. Every single patch, every single balance patch, any bug fixes, right? Let's not even talk about Doom. Don't want to get Quake in here. But because Doom's bugs are fucking atrocious. But let's not even pretend like whenever a balance patch hits, they don't go up to the tank roll and like skin part of their skin, or not skin. Let's pretend, or not pretend. Fuck. I am misspeaking so much. They are constantly going to the tank roll that's chained up in the basement to a torture rack. Every patch, every balance patch. And they are scalping it and removing some skin off of it with a butterfly knife every time they go down there. Because they want to slowly kill tank. How have they been slowly killing tank? Let's go ahead and talk about 5v5. 5v5 in the beginning, it was fine. It wasn't too crazy. Apparently tank was overtuned. Tank wasn't really that overtuned. No one really just knew how to play 5v5 because we never played it before, right? And then all of a sudden we got used to it. And now you go from 2 years ago where everyone's like, oh my gosh, like tank is a raid boss, right? I know you can go on Overwatch's or Blizzard's Twitter. It's one of them. And you can find a meme that they posted about like tank being a raid boss. Tank was a raid boss in Overwatch 1. It was like, it was some real shit. You had to be afraid of the tank. Now there's no fear. No fear at all. No fear. Why should I be scared? Right? As a brig, right? perfect matchup. Ramatra versus Brig, right? You got a Ram versus Brig. Ram activates Nemesis form, runs to Brig, and starts punch, 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 punch. What do I got to do as Brig to totally invalidate everything he did? Oh, well, I can just shield bash away and whip shot him. Now he's on the other side of Antarctica. He can't kill me. It's just they have been killing tank by 5v5, right? They killed tank with the balance patches because all the balance patches they've ever done for a tank, for the most part, it has been nerfing. It is straight nerfing. There are some times where they do buff tanks, and maybe I'm a little bit jaded because I'm a Reinhardt player, and they've left Reinhardt in the fucking mud for the last 2 years. Holy fuck. But they're just killing tanks, right? Last season, season 11, they're like, tank players, we're so sorry. We're so sorry. We need you guys. The tank queues are getting faster and faster because no one wants to play. Oh, here, we'll buff all of you so that way we have way more tank players. So that way the queue time goes up, you know, so that way people want to go and play other roles. We'll give all of you buffs. Instead of dying in 1.5 seconds, you'll die in 1.65 seconds. That should fix it, right? All those buffs last season, they didn't do a single thing. They accomplished nothing. All those buffs for what? For what? There's no point. What about season 10? I think when they, or was it season 9? It was either season 9 or season 10 when they went and did the whole projectile rework. What did you have to do as a tank then? What'd you have to do? Oh, if there's a 20-foot wall, and normally for the most part you're a tank and you want to hide 2 feet into the wall, sorry. Now you gotta hide 10 feet into the wall and wait for your health to regen. That's what you have to do. There's nothing you can do as a tank. You just have to play hide and seek a little bit better, right? So I guess like an example to illustrate this better would be, you know, if your health is low and you're on Gibraltar and you're on blue box, right? Because that is the best spot on first point. Blue box, that high ground, best spot on first point, especially if you're playing Winston and or Diva. But I prefer Winston, obviously main tank, right? Instead of hiding on blue box, now you have to leave blue box, go down back to attacker spawn, and you got to go to that like wall, the wall with the staircase that pushes up to high ground, right? You gotta hide there now. You can't hide on blue box. What the fuck are you doing? So, all these buffs they're doing to tank, they're all meaningless. They're all meaningless. The only meaningful buff, and I know Flats spoke against this, right? Because, I mean, I do watch Flats. He said something like, why are we giving Ryan more shield health? What are we doing? I agree, Flats. What are we doing? We shouldn't be giving him more shield health. We should be giving him buffs everywhere else because Ryan is genuinely fucking useless. But at this point, all you can do is stand there and shield bot all the time. You can't play the game any other way. As a tank, you truly can't. If you're not hitting the majority of your knives as Junker Queen, you're not hitting people with the hook trap combo as Roadhog, you know, you're not following up on people that got javelin by Arisa, you're not doing all of these things, what the fuck are you doing as tank? You're making no impact. Like, you could buff tank to have all of them have 1,000 HP just like Winston's primal. You're gonna accomplish fucking nothing. They're just gonna blow up. They're still blowing up. It's truly crazy that tank is in a bad place and they're killing tank on purpose. What's another way they're killing tank? They're killing tank with the shop and the battle pass. Yeah. Let's go into the shop. Go look at all the shop skins. There's a lot of reskins that they're charging $20 for. Fucking stupid. I really think it's dumb. You can go in the shop right now and look at the Cyber Dragon Hanzo reskin, and it's like red and black, I think, instead of yellow and black or whatever. You can go and look at that as a reskin, right? They did a reskin of a shop skin. That's just crazy. But they've been doing it this whole time. I mean, I bought skins because I thought they were really cool, and I also loved Overwatch, but now my opinion has changed. But look at the shop skins. Look at the battle pass. Look at everything in the shops. Look at everything in the shop. Look at everything in the battle pass. Okay? Now go and look at the patch notes. Go and look at the patch notes. Why are these patch notes addressing nothing? Why are these patch notes doing fuck all? Right? You need to help your tanks, and you need to help everyone else in the game, especially your tanks, because the role is truly unplayable, and it's been only getting more and more unplayable to the point where tanks are probably gonna start leaving the game. Tanks are done. I'm done. I love Overwatch. I've loved it this whole time, but you guys are killing the role. And what are you doing instead of trying to fix the role? You're trying to figure out the next collab you're doing, and I guess that's cool, but like, what about, I don't know, making the game more fun to play, right? Like, apparently, like, in Fortnite, the peak of Fortnite was like Chapter 2, Season 1, I think. And there wasn't a ton of stuff in the shop. Yeah, sure, there was stuff in the shop and like the Battle Pass and whatnot. But everyone played that because the game was fun. The game was really fun. Overwatch is not fun. Overwatch is not fun. No one's having fun. Why do you think towards mid-season patch or the end of the season, one or the other, you see flats, specifically flats, and maybe other people too, leave Overwatch and go and play other games? Because fuck Overwatch. I don't want to play Overwatch. Imagine playing Overwatch as a job, like flats. God bless Emongg. He has changed so much over the years. He's still a positive guy that you know, but man, he is brave. He's brave. I popped into a stream the other day. I think it was like 4 or 5 days ago, maybe a week ago, and he said, "Not getting off until I win 30 games as Diva." Okay, 30 games as Diva, yeah. Quick play. Oh, it's probably easier to win 30 games as Diva in comp than it is in quick play. So you are very brave, Emongg. Emongg has turned from the very nice, positive guy. He's always nice and positive, and he's really someone that you need in the Overwatch community, because I think without Emongg, you're going to lose a ton of your player base, because everyone's just going to be shit-talking the game, yeah? But even Emongg has changed from being nice and positive and, you know, I still love the game and everything, to, yeah, I still love the game, but now I'm nihilistic. Devs don't care about me. I'm a tank player. They don't give a fuck about me. Why am I, you know, like, shit is awful. We can't see Emongg and Flats together anymore. What the fuck? That's robbery. Damn. But they're killing tank roll with making these extravagant shop skins like the Optimus Prime Rhine skin. I wonder how many months it took for that to happen. How long do you think it takes for them to do a balance patch? You know, mid-season and beginning of season? And how long did it take for them to do a skin like that Optimus Prime Rhine skin, or the Porsche Diva skin, Porsche Farah? How long did it take for all these skins to happen? And now how long did it take for all the other balance patches to happen? Their time is probably not being spent where it needs to be spent. That's why I think the game feels bad. It's felt bad for a long time as a tank player. It's felt awful. Why am I playing the game? There's no point. No one gives a fuck about Overwatch ranks anymore. No one. I realized that 4 days into playing Overwatch 2. I was like, oh yeah, what's the difference between, you know, Gold 1 and, you know, Diamond 1 or Masters 5? What's the difference? Oh, Turns out there's not that much of a difference at all. We're all the same. You know, like there's really not that much of a difference. So it's just like, I don't care, right? I had a mental breakdown in 2018, and what was the first thing I thought when I was like in the midst of like the most like disgusting parts of that mental breakdown? I thought, I'll never be able to hit top 500 in Overwatch and get that cool looking emblem. That was my first thought, 2018. I was like, I'll never be able to hit top 500 and get that cool looking emblem. I'll never be able to do it. I'm not, you know, because of how everything was going, I'm not going to be able to hit top 500. But now, if I were to have that same mental breakdown, I don't know if I would really be thinking of Overwatch at all, because the devs hate me, right? The devs hate tank players. They want the game to die. They don't want the game to die, but they're only catering to, let's be honest, DPS and support. But they actually are catering to DPS less now, but they're mainly catering to support. The support players are keeping everything going. How much money do you think they made off of rerunning Pink Mercy and then putting in like Rose Gold Mercy? How much money do you think they made off of that? A fuck ton, yeah? Now, apparently everything went to charity and whatnot, but I don't know. Do you think that might have had anything to do with them buffing damage boost back to 30% and putting Mercy's healing to 60 a second? What the do you think that had anything to do with it? Probably not. But it's an indicator of where their priorities are. Their priorities are in milking the player base for their money, for their really cool, good-looking skins. I have been milked, but I'm genuinely done being milked. I want the game to be good. Tank feels bad. It's felt bad for so long, I'm only saying something about it now. I just want to queue in and play what I want to play. How come I can queue into a game in Overwatch 2 as tank, and I'll never be able to get to play what I want to? But my DPS and support can play whatever they want. And even if it doesn't work, they won't swap. If tanking doesn't work, or if, how do I say this? If the team doesn't work, tank has to swap, right? You know, imagine, I don't know, like a Lucio getting harassed by a tracer. Tank swap. Oh, why do I have to swap? She's attacking you. Well, because you have to peel for me. Have you tried going Brig? Have you tried it? What about Ana? What about Kiriko? There are so many things you can do. Why do I have to swap for everyone else? It feels like tank has to swap for everyone else's either shortcomings or unwillingness to play something they don't want to play. And that's the whole issue. People want to play what they want to play. So you let the DPS and support play what they want to play, but you don't let the tank play what they want to play. You don't. I don't understand it. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the time. I don't understand it. I want to have fun when I queue into a game of Overwatch. And I don't want to feel like I was lucky to win because they could have went my counters. And they didn't go my counters. And I'm thankful for that because the game was actually fun. The game was fun. But the game's also not fun because it's a free-for-all team deathmatch. Yeah? You got 5 people. Who talks in their Overwatch matches anymore? Who talks anymore? Back then in Overwatch 1, we would talk about everything. Everything. Who remembers in Overwatch 1 the whole I don't know if it was a fad or a trend of everyone just like shouting like the one person's name who was like low or who was weak, right? Who remembers, like, you know, we'll say you're on Volskaya And I don't know why, but they have a monkey. Or not why, but you're on Volskaya and they have a monkey and you're trying to kill the monkey because he's really low. He has like 150, 200 HP. And all you hear is everyone go, Winston, 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 right? Or monkey, 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 monkey. You hear none of that now. Or if you do hear it, it's very scant. No one ever says it. It's just a free-for-all team deathmatch. It's like, oh, hey, Ana, can you give me nano? Because I want to get enough kills for my UAV. I need to get more kills for my AC-130, right? Ana, give me nano, please, right? It's just not fun, and they're killing tank, and they've been killing tank. They are skinning tank alive, and it's just a matter of time before all the tank players leave, and I know I'm going to regret this, and they're gonna somehow buff all the tank roles, right? They're either going to buff all the tank roles back to where they were in season 1, not role, but they're going to buff all the tank heroes back to where they were in season 1, or they are going to do 6v6. It's one or the other. But the state the game is in right now is terrible. It's not fun, especially for a tank player. And I don't want to hear anything like, oh, tank players have it so hard, shut the fuck up, you know. Imagine like a Mercy player. I don't know when it was, like back in like season 7, maybe season 8. They were like, tanks have it so hard. Oh yeah, well my damage boost just got nerfed from 30 to 25. Try having fun with that. It's like, yeah, Sojourn can still fuck things up real hard. Widow can still destroy things. I don't know why you're complaining, right? Tanks just have it the hardest out of all the other roles in Overwatch, and everyone wants to complain about their role because every single role in the game has a problem. But I think if you address the tank problems, all other role problems would be much more visible to the devs. It would be much more visible. You would be able to see what's wrong with all the other roles when you fix tank, right? Maybe you do like a 15 to 20% numbers crunch, right? Probably keep the health pools the same, but now you go and reduce all the damage and healing by 15 to 20%. I don't remember anyone complaining about Overwatch 1 being a slow game. Why don't we bring it back to that? Make the game fun. Because you guys are trying to figure out how to make the game as fun as Overwatch 1 was in its peak. And you guys are failing. It's not fun. And I'm not trying to be doom and gloom, pissed at the devs like Simido, right? Simido has a fuck ton of valid points, right? He has so many valid, good, strong arguments. Yeah. But I think for me, it's just... I'm just some plat player who, you know, doesn't really pay attention to the game and doesn't really take it seriously. And, you know, it's just been feeling like shit. I can't do anything. I have to go and kill their team while I'm babysitting 4 people on my team. It's genuine torture. And no one seems to know what to go to counter anything besides the tank. No one seems to know. What about if there's a Sombra, you get a Cass? How about that? Maybe if there's a Junkrat, you don't go Reaper, and instead you go Ashe or Soldier or something like that. Why are you going Reaper against a Junkrat? It's just everything weighs on tanks so heavy, and no one wants to address it. Because I don't know, maybe I'm guessing, I'm truly guessing, maybe the last time a tank addressed their concerns and their worries, they got shut down because, oh, shut up, tank player, like, we don't care. You know, the corporate greed is getting to the players now. Once you stop, you know, once you get out of that, like, corporate greed pool that Blizzard has set so nicely, because everything is shiny and sparkly, right? Literally, look at the mythics. you'll realize this game is kind of hollow. And I'm not saying the devs don't care, but they're not putting in effort and they're just trying to make money. That's what I saw after the first 2 seasons. They just want to make money, but I kept on playing it because I was like, I don't know anything else that plays like this. I actually really like Valorant a lot, but downloading that shit onto my PC is like Chinese spyware, man. It's like impossible to get that shit off, brother. Like Valorant stays on the computer forever. You got to uninstall it like 4 or 5 times before it actually uninstalls. So I don't know. Maybe I'll make an exit from Overwatch, but I want to see the game get better. Because if I am experiencing all these issues, imagine what the guy in Bronze 5 is experiencing, right? Imagine what happens when the guy in Bronze 5 like climbs up to like Silver 3 and he's just like, "What the fuck? I was just walking as Ramatra in Nemesis form and I died in 2 seconds. What happened? I saw no one. All I saw was an Ana all the way in the back line and I kapoof." Like, it's just, I want the game to get better. It feels like the devs aren't doing anything though, because they're more focused on the shop and the battle pass. Because if you look at the quality of the shop and battle pass skins versus the patch notes, you'll see a day and night difference. And it's really annoying. I want to have fun again. Because I haven't been having fun for a while and I'm just playing it because I don't know what else to play. And maybe that's the scariest part. I don't know what else to play, so I'm playing Overwatch. How many other people are in the same boat? You know, when that next game rolls around, are they going to jump over to it? Marvel Rivals is looking a lot better now. Not better than Overwatch, but better than where it was before. So maybe we'll all jump over to Marvel Rivals. I don't know. It's just it's just depressing, and I hope the game gets better. I think that's it. That's all I had to say. I am not having fun, and I haven't been having fun for a while, and I'm only playing the game because I don't know what else to play, and I don't know what else feels like Overwatch. Overwatch 2 is the closest thing that feels like Overwatch 1, but there's nothing that feels like Overwatch 1, so I'm just kind of playing the clone. No. Okay. That's it. Thank you for watching, and I hope people watch this because I want everyone to know, like, hey, I am a plat player and I'm talking for all you fucks, right? I'm a plat player. I'm talking for all of us. You know, because a lot of the Overwatch community is like, oh, Flats and Emongg and, you know, Jay and everyone else, they're top 500. They don't speak for the whole community. Well, here I am. I'm a plat player. I'm speaking for the whole community. I'm not saying you guys want me to, but I'm saying I probably, in your mind, represent you guys better than a top 500 player. You know, a plat 3 player, plat 2 player probably represents you guys better than a top 500 player, even though they're fine, great representatives. That's it. I hope the game gets better. Yep. All right. Bye.